if you do a 15-year stake today on Hex, right, a 555 stake,
Hmm.
you're closer to Bitcoin being created than you are that 15-year stake unstaking itself.
What do you mean?
So Bitcoin was created in 2009, right?
Yeah.
It technically, Bitcoin's about 12, 13 years old right now.
Hmm.
If I did a 555 stake, so a 5.2 year stake, a 15.2 year stake, which is the longest stake you can do in Hex, you are closer to the beginning of Hex than the end of that stake.
Yeah, well, of course.
Yeah, but that was kind of trippy, like to think of how far
it's very
far
long.
that is. Not a dig on Hex, but I'm just as an example of just like because that's like it really made me think in perspective of like where we're at. Like I've never been in a crypto year with more like this. 2021 was probably the fastest expansion of technological development I've ever experienced. Ever. Like it was insane. It was insanity. Like we went from just barely using Uniswap. Like we're just kind of like to like now we're on multi-chain. I'm bridging assets from Solana over to AVAX over to Phantom. And like doing all this kind of crazy stuff. I'm yield farming on like every freaking chain right now. I'm if I need cash, I'm trying to figure out a way how to use AnySwap to bridge money over to this place to that place, and like let me sell this coin, let me sell. So like literally, I've done transactions where I've taken my boo profits, like off of like Phantom Boo, taken that, turned to USTC, transferred the USTC to this chain, then moved it to that chain in order to get like I'm moving money across 3 borders.
It's only taken about a year and a half for that to play out because it was like, yield farming really blew up in terms of getting on the scene in crypto in like June of 2020. And then Uniswap was, basically starting to take over the daily volume of Coinbase from August of 2020. We started the Crypto Mindset course in September of 2020. And then, just crypto's evolved, like you said, so much for that last year and a half that you're doing these things where, there was there was Compound and there was Aave and then Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And then what was it? There was that one that was funny. Curve. That was like it was Curve, but there was that other one. I forgot what it was called, but it's kind of like dead now. It was
Convex, Yams.
No.
Was it yield farming?
No. It was just I forget. Anyways, this is another thing. It was just around the same time as that. But anyways, like it was all on Ethereum basically, right?
Right. Every Convex and all that other jazz. Like DeFi was just on Ethereum, and then basically because Ethereum neglecting their community to placate the miners, like we've had these other chains kind of like come up basically too, and like
they saw that coming. I think that was partially. I mean, at some level with the Ethereum Foundation, that could have been a conscious decision in the background, being like, we know like a lot of other chains will come up because of this, but that will diversify crypto a little bit more. It will keep our, basically keep the people in Ethereum rich. The Ethereum token is going to go up anyways, and then they can solve it, sometime before the next bull market, and then they'll be good.
I'm in full like 100% that like Ethereum purposely left the gas fees high in order to pay the miners. I'm on the level of like Epstein didn't kill himself. That's how sure. That's how sure I am that like I'll go down swinging on that shit. Like I don't like I remember me and you were some of the first people really talking about like the Ethereum developers were just fucking off in 2018. And they let a lot of like we would be even though I will say that this is like the Android 19 thing that happened was probably a godsend for crypto because it got more work done in crypto. I think we like 2020 was also a very pivotal year, because in March, you had that stuff happen and stuff, and it went worldwide, and a lot of people stopped going to work. A lot of people who were in jobs where they finally could get unemployment and stuff, and didn't have to go to work. Finally, had a lot of free time for the first time, and trust me, a lot of you guys do work and stuff, so I know you guys know what I'm talking about here. There's a drone. A droning that happens in your life when you go to work every day. The way your brain processes information is if it's sort of like a compact disc in a way where it is compact sort of things together. So if you do the same thing every single day, your brain and memory makes it less important. So you remember it, but you don't really remember it actually because it's the same thing. Because why does it have to remember?
Yeah, you're just used to it. Yeah, so you just don't remember. There's no highlights. It's all the same fucking shit, different day. It's like like what's that movie? Groundhog's Day.
Yeah, groundhogs.
You go through the same motions, and then it is what it is. But yeah, no, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, it's just but there's this droning going on where like you either like you either give into it or you like are trying to like I find the people who are most successful in crypto are the people who are at working and they go out of the way just to like keep studying or keep doing something
Yep.
else like they don't give up. There's like a thing of like you're a slave, like wow, you're always gonna be a slave, right?
Mm.
Versus the person like I'm a slave right now, but I'm gonna figure a way out this bitch.
Yep.
And then, hey, I'm gonna figure out, I'm gonna generate something.
I'm gonna
To get
build a
out of
rocket
here.
and go to fucking space, bro. Like, that's essentially, what people in crypto, do. It's like, yeah, you got there's a lot of trial and error. And it takes a long time to break the atmosphere. But hey, man, like once you get to the moon, then it's like, hey, wait a minute here. There's Mars, there's fucking Saturn. Like
Right.
let's do this shit. But no, you're right. It's like problem solving, right? Is essentially what you're talking about. Like, I think a lot of people when they get out of college or high school, right, they're like, "Oh, I don't need to study anymore. I don't have to learn anything new for the rest of my life." And they kind of are like, maybe for a few years that's okay in your mid-20s, right? Just because like you have that sense of freedom for the first time. But
Right,
if you
right.
don't, to some extent, reinvent your mind every 5 years, in my opinion, like you just get bored.
Yeah.
Like if you're not learning something new all the time.
Yeah. So like I started in high school wearing like black shirts and now I just wear nothing but black clothes. It's just been an evolution of like my style. Yeah, right.